Have you ever felt like you were in fog? That you were standing in the middle and wherever you looked, you just saw outlines of things, but you couldn't quite see clearly. You couldn't see far ahead of you. It's like a film that just envelops around you. Maybe sometimes you've felt that you've forgetting things more often. Like, where did I put my keys? I can't remember which episode I was watching on Netflix. Or maybe you're just feeling a bit sluggish. Your body and your mind just take a bit longer to get going in the morning. You need more than one cup of coffee to wake up those brain cells. Maybe you've tried to sit down and do some reading and you just can't seem to concentrate. Or you sit down to do some of your work and your mind keeps drifting off. Recent studies suggest that the numbers of people throughout this pandemic who are finding this is increasing massively. Our ability to think things through and to concentrate on things and find solutions seems to have diminished. I'm not saying that the pandemic has caused us all to lose cognitive ability, but what it has done is it's changed the way we think. It's changed how much energy we put into thinking about different things. You see, we've been so stressed for so long, so anxious for so long, trying to deal and cope with the situation we're in, that we're using so much of our mental and emotional capacity to deal with those things that we don't seem to be able to do other things that in the past we would have done quite easily. For others, it's the lack of physical affection and deep connection that has been an issue. Maybe you're not a hugger. Maybe you've got a different way of expressing emotion and care and concern for somebody. That's okay. But for a lot of people, that physical contact and the lack of it is causing people to have some real distressing emotional moments. How do I express my emotions? How do I connect with somebody deeply over a screen on a video call? It's not the same as giving them a hug in person. You know, a hug can communicate so much more than words. So how do I deal with that? Maybe you're just not used to people anymore. It seems like everybody's rushing to get back to give hugs, and actually you've just discovered that maybe you're more of an introvert than you thought you were. Well, that's okay too. Maybe you've quite liked lockdown. You've got a much better balance of life and work and home situation, and you quite like to keep it that way, so you want to step back from things that you were volunteering at before, for example. How do I keep that work-life balance in a healthy way as we go back into some kind of normality? And some of us are just tired. We've been keeping on going for so long. We almost got there, then we didn't. We almost got there, then we didn't. And now we're almost there again. Are we going to have another lockdown and you still feel a bit on edge and anxious about it? Maybe you've been holding on so long, but now you're starting to see those cracks. You're starting to see that I've reached the limit with how long I can cope with these different things. It's almost as if you were holding on for dear life onto a rope, and your muscles are all really tense and you're holding on. And then when you let go, it's not just letting go. Your whole body lets go. And so right now, as things ease back out of lockdown, back to some kind of normality, you start to relax a bit more and everything relaxes and comes out. It might not feel like a relaxing thing, but it's letting go of that stress, that tension, that mentality of I've got to keep going, I've got to stay strong. And so maybe you're a little bit apprehensive that you feel like you might crumble a little bit under this transition period. There's a word that's become very popular, which is languish, which in essence means you've lost oomph. It's not that you're completely depressed. It's not that you're completely ecstatic. You just, meh. You've lost that oomph and things. So while some people seem excited to get back, others are anti it because they liked being in lockdown. Maybe you're somewhere in the middle and you're just a bit, it is what it is. All of these ways of viewing life, and particularly this time of transition out of lockdown, they are all valid. So what are the things that we can learn, and what are some of the things we can do as we're in this transition period? I think one of the first things we can look at is the word normal. Everybody says we're getting back to normal. Let me suggest that we're not going back at all. We're going forward, things are changing, and we're going into a new normal. Things are not going to go back completely to the way they were before. And maybe you need to grieve that a bit. Maybe you need to process that and let go of it and say, that's how it was, things are going to be different now. That's not easy. How do we do that? We keep talking. If you're somebody who likes hugging people but you've not been able to have that kind of connection, you've got to keep talking. As we talk with other people, we share our stories and they share with us. It distributes out those tensions, it distributes out those weights. And when you find that other people think the same way as you can carry those burdens together. We need to go gently. We need to be gentle on ourselves and gentle on other people. There are going to be so many different levels of expectation of what is required of us, what people expect of us. Oh, come to my house for a sleepover with 100 people. Maybe you're not there yet. That's okay. Everyone copes differently and everybody recovers differently. So we need to be gentle with ourselves and with those around us. Don't put pressure on yourself and don't put pressure on others. We need to keep active mentally and physically. Maybe that brain fog has become very apparent to you. Well, do some courses, do some reading, do some of those silly little games on your phone that help you use your brain. We've got to keep our minds active so that they're not just focused on dealing with the stress and anxiety and the negative things. We need to keep stretching it in a healthy way. And the same with our bodies physically. A lot of people have used this time to get really in shape. Others have done the opposite and gone to a different kind of shape. That's okay too. We all have dealt with things in different ways, but we need to keep our bodies active. It helps with chemicals, it helps with releasing your emotion. There's so many benefits of keeping physically active as well as mentally. We need to be patient. This is still going to take time. It's not just, hooray, 21st of June, everything's back to normal. No, it's going to take time for things to ease back, to ease into the new normal. Maybe you need to warm yourself up. Maybe you're not ready to hug everybody on a Sunday morning when you go to church. Maybe you're not ready to go to a concert with 10,000 people, all rubbing shoulders and cheering and sweating and coughing on each other. That's okay. Maybe just try an outside barbecue with some friends. Warm yourself up to the point until you're ready to really engage completely in with the new normal. Be gentle, be patient, don't be hard on yourself, but keep using your body physically and mentally and keep expressing your emotions in ways that are helpful to you. And then the new normal won't be such a scary and anxious place. If you need any support, please do get in touch with us here at the church. We'd love to spend some time with you just to listen and see if we can help in any way.